The River City just landed on top of the Wall Street Journal's list for cities with the highest rate of justifiable killings by civilians. To reach the conclusion, the media outlet says that they looked at data from 2021 through 2024, cities with a population of 500,000 people or more, and determined the highest rates were in the states that have stand-your-ground laws.
News4JAX reporter Khalil Maycox here. Khalil, the sheriff's office in Jacksonville and the state attorney's office, they are pushing back against parts of this article.
Yeah, JSO says this article, to get the statistics it did, it had to rely on outside data, which they say doesn't cover all law enforcement agencies without context or disclosure. So from 2021 to 2024, Jacksonville had the largest share of its homicides classified as justifiable killings by civilians, according to the Wall Street Journal. The article says this is more than any U.S. city or county with a population equivalent or greater than 500,000 people. A justifiable homicide is a killing without criminal intent, typically occurring in self-defense or defense of others. And the Journal says it got their data from the FBI, which gets its data from police agencies. And according to the publication, during those 4 years, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office reported 54 justifiable homicides by civilians to the FBI, but says their website lists 65 for that period. News4JAX checked their website this afternoon and couldn't find justifiable homicides for 2021. But from 2022 to 2024, there are 58 listed, and there have been 10 so far this year. The Journal says Jacksonville had a higher rate of justifiable homicides than cities like Charlotte, Indianapolis, and Memphis. The article goes on to reference Florida's stand your ground law as part of the reason for Jacksonville landing on top of the list. Now, the law, which allows people to use deadly force in self-defense who can't retreat and have a right to be there, gives incentives for police and prosecutors to classify tough cases as justifiable homicides, according to an FSU criminology professor. Now, the Journal News4JAX spoke with our crime and safety analyst about the story, and he says what's presented isn't fair assessment because agencies put a lot of work into solving cases.
Yeah, this isn't just the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office or the homicide unit investigating something that's saying, boom, this one is a justifiable homicide. It's a hand-in-hand work with the Sheriff's Office, the investigators, the State Attorney's Office, and the State Attorney's investigators as they take those facts and comb through those facts to make a determination as to if it is within the law as a justifiable homicide.
News4JAX reached out to JSO and the state attorney's office for comment on this story, and JSO replied in part saying, there's a lack of context to prove the author's point without acknowledging the laws that differ from state to state and that police and prosecutors must act within their state's laws. Simply put, the Wall Street Journal's attempt to portray Jacksonville as a city quick to justify homicides to lower crime numbers is wrong. While the state attorney's office said in part every case is dictated by the facts, the evidence, and the law, when the evidence meets the legal standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, our prosecutors file charges. Any insinuation from any party opining that filing decisions are made, or in this case, not made, in an effort to influence crime data is unaware, uneducated, or uninformed about how our offices operate. To read the full report from the Journal, as well as the full statements from the law enforcement agencies, visit news4jax.com. Khalil Maycox, Channel 4, the local station.